Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tinker Tarot and Gypsy Tales. I'm double posting this video just so you know. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Um, we have a lot of celebrations going on right now in the world at this time of year. It's the winter solstice. We've just passed by a couple of days ago on the 21st. So I want to talk about, the year that's coming ahead. This year that we've just come out of was the four, and we're still in it, for a couple of weeks or week some. And um, so the four was about the pause, and the pause is to reflect on what is not working, you know and there's thing that we've set in motion. It's in motion in the one, the two, and the three, and the four is when we have a look and see what is working, what is not working, because there's positives to it too, right? But so here we're going into the five now, and 2021 is a five. The five is the master of change. Okay? So in the four, we reflected on what is not working and what is working. Okay? And in the five is when we start to put into motion again. We're back in motion, and we're making the changes that are needed in the five. And we're trying them out too, because it's not perfection immediately. And we're making adjustments here and there, tweaking this, turning this down, turning this up, that sort of thing, wherever in our lives. Um, Five is also known as the number of humanity, because we humans have five fingers on each hand and five toes on each foot. We have five appendages, our arms and our legs and our head. We have five senses, and we have five working systems of the body as well. So in human beings, we're represented as five very much, and in a way, the way we change and evolve is very much like a five, right? It's mimicking five energy. Five is also found in the pentagram, the five pointed star symbol, and each point represents, there's fire, water, earth, air, and spirit. And five is also the fifth chakra, is the throat chakra, and it means I speak, and it's about truth, speaking the truth, being honest. And so a lot of things, fives is very much about new experience, new enterprise, um, curiosity, investigating, researching, asking questions, um, communication for sure is a big one with five. It's related to Mercury as well, right? So communication, Um, but it's also a number of non-uniformity. So it's not uniform like a 4 or a 6. It's eccentric. It doesn't, conform and blend in at all. It wants to stand out and change and open to new possibilities. New, okay? It's about change, about breaking old patterns, breaking old patterns. And the last thing is the 5 very much is about bridging gaps. Um, the 5 is the bridge between the 4 and the 6. And the 6 is where we start working together again. We start really working together in more of a pattern, more of a pattern. So the 5 bridges that gap, but like I said, it you know starts to take action on all of that deep thinking you did in the 4, the experience of the 4. And it's going to take that and start to manifest and realize some of the ideas that you have now. Okay, we're the 5, this 2021 is also the year of the ox in the Chinese astrology, in the Chinese year, and they go by the year. That's their astrology. So it's the year of the ox. And the ox, if you think about an ox, they are persistent, they're slow, and they push their way forward. So it's about pushing your way forward, right? Like I said, and making the adjustments you need to get going again, to get working together again. But we're trying to figure out what is working, and so we're going to start making adjustments and pushing forward. It's also about responsibility and getting our house in order. The ox is, taking care of things that we may have been putting off for a long time, that we may have, because when we went through that pause of the 4, we may not have done very much either with all our time. We may have rested, gotten that rest we need. But so anyway, I'm going to say that in the year of the ox, luxury and anything frivolous is out. It's a very practical year, okay? Um, Now, you need to do it right. There's no time for shortcuts. You need to do it right the way it was laid out to do. Okay, so we've got this mixing, the ox energy mixing with this 5 energy. That 5 energy wants new, it wants to explore, it's curious. What are the possibilities here? And the ox is about doing things the way you're told to do it. It's not a time of just saying, oh, well, I can skip that part. There's no skipping anything, no skipping any of the steps. Okay, you still have to do all the steps. Um, and it's also a time as you only get paid, or you only get what you put into it. This year of the ox, you reap what you sow. No work, no pay. So there's going to be changes in that way. You have to be putting something in to get something out. I don't think there's going to be any more free handouts. We've got to see something, come out of this. And so there's kind of a saying that says, Time waits for no human. I changed it a little. Time waits for no human. So it's time for action, motion. All right. And then from another perspective, I want to address the winter season that we're entering now for us in the Northern Hemisphere. And here I'm in Canada, I'm in southeastern Ontario. And so for us, we're entering, we just, with the winter solstice, that was like our first day of winter. And so now we have 3 months of winter till the March 21st. And so when we enter the winter, and I think about it from a medicine wheel point of view, in the medicine wheel, there's four um, pieces of pie, and winter is in the north piece of the pie, and that color is white, and it represents man, the white race, okay? It represents the intellect and the mind, and it also represents the spirit is in the north. You'll also, the animal is the bear. If you think about hibernation, bears going into hibernation, and so bears are in the north as well. And it's also a time of purification and transformation, you know. So this is where we're going to go from our our 4 to our 5. All right? In this winter is where we're gearing up. We're getting ready. We're coming up with those ideas. We're planning our experiences, what we're going to have. But there's also letting go in the winter. It's a time of letting go of fear, of anger, and of hate. Let that go. If that is just baggage we hold on to, and if we can let that go, just think how much faster, or um how we'll be better working modules, will work more efficiently without all that baggage. So this is a time in the winter when we're going to let that stuff go, whatever it is, and do that work, okay? Um, the north is also the area of our elders, our grandparents, those that are the wise. They represent the wisdom, and like I said, the mind, the intellect. They also represent truth. What is the truth? What is the right way? And seeing something in a bigger picture. They think, because they're in the hierarchy of the family, they think about all of the ones below them, the ones that come after them, and so it is good to go to our elders and our grandparents to seek wisdom and truth and knowledge and the stories. They know the stories of our families, of our history, of who we are. They hold all that knowledge. So it's a really good time to seek them out in the winter during this hibernation time. So this is, we're getting a bit of a double whammy in this winter period because it's hibernation and we have COVID. So it's very, it can be a lonely time. So that takes me back to the 5, that bridging gaps, you know. This is who I think we need to be bridging those gaps with, is our elders and our grandparents. We need to bridge the gap between ourselves and them, our children and them, um, the services and them, what they have access to and what they don't. um, all that sort of thing. So, um, thinking about how we can be of assistance, because that'll be our turn one day, right? So the wheel will turn. It will come around. So, this is also a very spiritual time, like I said, the winter. It's a time when our elders have visions. They see visions and their dreams come true. They're closer to the spirit world now than anyone else, right? They're very close to it. So they are privy to, they have access to some of the messages, the what they need to pass on before they go. And I'm not talking like all seniors out there, get ready, you're gonna see you later. I just mean, because we all are in different life cycles, and I'm not there yet either myself, but I will still pay my respect and honor those in entering the cycle, leaving the cycle, life cycle, what have you. It's a really good time to check in on our grandparents, our elders, and our elders is the ones in the top of the family. They're the matriarch, the patriarch, whoever, the great great grandmother, who's the oldest living. Not necessarily, they don't have to be 100 either, they could be just 60 and just need a hand with groceries in the winter or whatever. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share some of that. It's exciting energy. 2021 is exciting energy because it's when we get to try new tricks to old patterns, like old things that we still need in our lives. We still need to move forward with, but we need to handle them in a different way, address them in a different way. I'll tell you, if you go to different countries, travel, or even just read about them online, you'll find out that different places have different ways of handling things, of addressing issues in their community or their country. And all of them are very interesting and work for wherever they are. And so it's this is what I mean about trying new things. If something is outdated and just not working the way that you had planned, because I used to have to do reporting for work, and they were all in measured outcomes. And a measured outcome is in the beginning when you're planning your program or whatever your idea is. This is what I plan to happen. Okay? I plan it will happen this way. I'll need this, this, and these people will come and we'll do this together, and that's the way it will be. And then at the end of the year or the season, even 3 months, um, you will write the actual outcome. What actually happened? Here's what you planned to happen, but what actually happened. So, it cost me this much, and only 3 people came, or 200. I was overwhelmed. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to, and so this is a measured outcome. So it's a time of when you want to make those ideas, that plan of this is what I hope to happen. This is my intention, you know? So it's really exciting. And I like the part, because I can see the restless part big time in the five. We've all been cooped up in not just COVID, but winter as well. And during a time of celebrations, it's some of our big celebrations at this time. But this is why we will um, bridge those gaps. You know, this is what we plan to do. And here's the church, here's the steeple. If you look inside, there's all the people. So I shouldn't say church because we all follow different um, spirit. We all walk a different road and they're all okay. Anyway, so that's all this video is about. Kind of this year coming and what to expect and what we're coming into this winter as well. Um, Sweetgrass is the medicine of the winter of the north in the medicine wheel, and sweetgrass looks like this. Now this one's kind of dried out. It should be greener. When it's fresh, it looks green. And so this is a man's medicine. This you can smudge with this or smudge belongings or your home. It you can use it for cleansing. You can use it for cleansing yourself. Um, but it's also a good time to put some cedar outside. Cedar is for protection. So you could have a cedar bow over your door. Um, uh, some Aboriginal cultures use cedar around the sweat lodge to protect the people inside that are praying. And so they put cedar all around the outside of the sweat lodge to protect everybody inside. So cedar, yeah, is really nice for protection. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope everyone has a really safe and sweet holiday season. I want to say Happy New Year, and I can't wait to talk to you next year. Take care. Mwah. Bye.